dramatic teens, choices between, and Muppet Queens. Coming up today on The Point.
I will have no mercy, baby.
Qu'est-ce que tu vas me faire?
And I will have no mercy, baby.
Tu me fais pas peur.
And I will have no mercy, baby.
Plus de souper avec tes parents.
And I will have no mercy, baby.
Hello and welcome to The Point, the only talk show bringing gay and straight men together to see what happens. And Ori is still on his movie set, but he promises me he will be back next week, so we look forward to that. We're going to get right into it now because we have special guests coming up later in the episode. The creators of the new LGBT teen drama, It's Complicated. But first, talking point number one, Rubber My Ducky. Okay.
Nope. Too early. Too soon.
Too soon?
Too soon.
So, Bert and Ernie
Uh-huh.
from Sesame Street.
They're besties.
They're okay. Well, the man who wrote the Bert and Ernie sketches a while back gave an interview with Queerty, the website, and he said that he wrote the characters after his own relationship with him and his partner.
So why is this only coming out now after everyone has said that they're gay, they're gay, they're gay?
Well, he gave this interview with Queerty, and he said that he modeled Bert and Ernie after his own relationship, that of a gay couple. So, of course, the internet exploded with, oh my God, now we
knew it.
We knew it. Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
That Bert and Ernie are actually a gay couple. And look at how cute they look there. Look at adorable.
That is so adorable.
Such
I
a
just
couple
forgot.
photo, though.
What?
Such a couple
Get to the
photo.
salon to get your hair, that unibrow taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, most gays would take care of the unibrow. But then Sesame Workshop, the producers of Sesame Street, issued a statement saying that the pair do not have a sexual orientation.
Considering they're puppets.
Well, yes. What they said was, as we have always said, Bert and Ernie are best. Something just fell. We're going to go on. Bert and Ernie are best friends. They were created to teach preschoolers that people can be good friends with those who are very different from themselves. Even though they are identified as male characters and possess many human traits and characteristics, they remain puppets and do not have a sexual orientation.
Let's break it down.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know this is they're Muppets, but
Here's the thing about retroactive gayness. The Dumbledore variety. You know? The one that comes out after the heat dies down. I mean, this was like early, 90s, so it's kind of like more forgivable. But like saying they're gay later when it's okay doesn't really do anybody just like, oh, thank God.
He must have been asked a million times, like if they were. So why is he only coming out with it now?
well, I don't actually think the writer
I'm not sure anybody was
Mark
really
Saltzman
asking.
is his name.
I never suspected.
Okay, then why are Kermit and Miss Piggy in a relationship? Because people keep saying that, oh, they
Didn't
are.
they
You're
get
right. They're
divorced?
just puppets. But puppets have. I'm sorry. The Muppets have an autistic puppet. They have Muppets with physical disabilities.
Ones that live in garbage
I
cans.
don't think
One
Yeah.
that lives in a garbage can. Well, I don't
We can have
understand.
gay
If you can
Muppets.
give puppets and Muppets all these different human characteristics, why can't you say that Bert and Ernie have a sexual orientation?
Didn't they
Because
make
they
a
don't
huge
deal with
deal about
sexual
them like
things.
breaking up, like Miss Piggy and?
But they're kids.
Yes.
But also,
They're kids.
are
Well,
we
well,
saying that
they're
Miss
kids.
Piggy and
Are
Kermit are
Bert and Ernie
straight?
kids?
As far as I know, they're kids.
Okay,
It's
it's Bert and Ernie.
interspecies. Like, there's
Maybe it's
nothing to
Muppet
indicate
sexual.
that Miss Piggy and Kermit
I just want to point something out.
represent a straight relationship.
Saying that they have a sexual orientation is different from sexualizing them.
Yes.
They could be gay and non-sexual.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if Bert and Ernie are kids, why do they live alone and together?
In New
I
York.
don't know, as that, I don't
What do
know.
they do for work?
But they also
What
have
do they
a-
do for work?
Is one of them a sex columnist who somehow affords an apartment?
And and why do they always wear the same clothes?
Always.
That's how they
that's
save
true.
money. That's how they afford to live in New York.
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
Which
see,
they
I
can
hadn't
do,
thought about
considering
that.
they don't sweat.
Wouldn't they have to spend so much money on
Well-
laundry then?
It,
Also,
They don't care if they
our
smell.
laundries and showers, the same
Right?
thing.
Adam Carroll doesn't wear underwear, so.
There you go.
Whatever.
But then
He gets it.
then there was this thing called Kids React that posted this video on YouTube showing that actually most kids were like, I don't care. Who cares? Why are adults making a big deal out of this? Why are adults making a big?
Because adults
why
are
is
the
it-
worst.
Deal. It's
If-
the internet. It's 2018, and everything is a big.
If
fucking
you-
deal.
Oh my god.
Because you have to think of the children.
Okay, but they also have.
But they're not.
okay,
That's the point.
no.
They're not thinking about the children.
No, but I think
That's their
they're-
excuse. That's what I'm saying.
but I think some people do use that as an excuse.
Oh,
but I,
they?
right,
Their
right.
parents.
But
That's just how they react.
isn't it for the children to have a gay Muppet?
Okay, but
like
they also
again,
have-
if you can have an
No,
if you
because the
can have-
puppets will turn them gay. That's
well, but the autistic Muppet isn't going to turn their kid autistic.
Okay, but they also have a
welcome to,
transgender
like,
Muppet.
being
Muppet.
gay.
They also have the AIDS Muppet. They have
an
other
AIDS Muppet?
Yes.
It's
Oh,
been a
yeah,
while.
Jamie's
It's been a while since I watched
Come on the
Muppet.
show.
We're on season 900 now. Get on it.
We don't research.
So I mean, I
know,
find
there
this.
is
I
one.
actually find I am surprised that the Sesame Workshop, instead of saying they are there, we don't define them. If you see them as a gay couple, then that's how you see them. If you don't, you don't. Why?
That's kind of what they are saying, though.
No, they're saying they're
Muppets have-
puppets, therefore they do not have a sexual orientation. And I think that is very antithetical to what Sesame Street tries to do in terms of showing acceptance and diversity to its young
But I think
audience.
there's nothing about the dynamic between Bert and Ernie, other than being catty to each other, that has to do with being gay, that has to do with sexuality, that has to do with
Which
orientation.
brings us back
has
to
anything
this
to do with
retroactive
that.
gayness.
No, but they act like a married couple, and that's what the
no,
writer.
No, they don't. They act like friends who have
live together.
differences. There's no their sexuality, and whether they're gay or straight or men or women or puppets or whatever, have nothing to do with their dynamic whatsoever.
If they
and
were
that's the
gay-
whole point of it, which is why this is one of those things that people are trying to put something onto this. The dynamic between Miss Piggy and Kermit is one of somebody pursuing somebody else in a romantic type of way. So that's why
but
that is a relationship.
But
This is not
But a couple that live together are not pursuing each other in a romantic way. They just live as a couple.
Yeah, but maybe they're just
That's what
roommates.
they're trying to do with
If
it.
they were gay, they were serving the purpose of gay representation on a TV show for children, they need to go through gay issues, which they don't.
No, I agree
It
with
wouldn't
you.
be a mystery.
Actually, I'm not.
If you live next to a couple for however long the show has been on the air, and you're just like, are they? Maybe they're not.
I'm not saying that.
what I mean?
I'm not saying that Sesame Street needs to define them. I'm saying that it's offensive for them to say unequivocally they are not because they are merely puppets. When
Right.
Sesame
Yeah, when the
Workshop
others
uses puppets all the time to show children
Models of
diversity.
humanity.
I disagree. I think you're saying. I think that it would be offensive if they said, "No, they're not gay. They're two straight friends that are living together and dealing with issues who don't always get along." That is offensive.
but they're avoiding
They're
that
saying this is
altogether. No,
nothing
but they're-
because that's not what it's about.
But they're saying
Can we
puppets
ask them?
can't be ascribed a sexual orientation when obviously they can.
Yeah.
Kermit and Miss Piggy have been given a sexual orientation.
Unless they're
When-
bi
when
and then
certain-
they don't say anything about it.
When the Muppets are like are given are assumed to have an orientation, which is basically they're all assumed either to be
Right.
asexual or heterosexual, just because
What do you think Gonzo does with that nose?
I don't know. Smokes a lot of coke.
It's a lot of coke.
Okay, now we're getting into dangerous territory.
Seriously.
It's time for Tito's midpoint.
Watch the Muppet Kids.
You got really riled up over the puppets.
Yeah, you got like really worked up.
No mercy, baby.
This week we're playing at gunpoint. So you guys take one of the questions and just answer one or the other. Let me just grab them here.
That explanation was amazing.
I mean, it's pretty
Can you explain it
self-explanatory
again?
when you read the
Well,
question.
like you have no choice. You have to choose.
Or Tito
That's
will
why you're at
shoot us.
gunpoint.
Yes.
Got it?
All right.
Jesus.
Start us off. High production value. Would you rather? Would you rather lose your wallet with all of your IDs or lose your hard drive and all of your photos ever taken? Obviously, fucking my wallet. Are you kidding me? You can just go to the government, replace all that shit, call my credit card company and be like, yeah, but then you have lost, assuming
Your
you're an
health
idiot
card,
who
your
doesn't back
license.
anything up. I've done that. I did that. I replaced them all, and then I found the wallet after I bought a new one.
$1 million
Everyone takes it and
in
reads it.
cash.
And I was like, my new wallet's nicer. So it's actually a blessing in disguise.
How much cash do you carry? I think that would be the
Yeah,
thing.
I
If
have
I was the
like
type of person that carried a lot of cash, then I'd be
max $40 on
Yeah.
when I'm feeling like Rockefeller. It's all debit, and I pay with everything with my phone anyway.
And I don't. Who keeps all of their pictures on a hard drive? Tito. It's called the cloud.
Well, these are ones Tito does not want getting
Who
out from the
handwrites the questions for the midpoint on loose leaf paper?
That's dedication. I'm going to say that is dedication.
Listen,
Can I swap? I don't like this question.
someone forgot.
All right.
Would you rather live in a huge house? Yeah. Without any friends or family? Oh yeah. Or live in a tiny room surrounded by friends and family? So in the first scenario, my friends and family just don't exist anywhere else?
Wait, what does that say? Toy?
Like either do
Oh,
you want
it's-
to live
Bye.
Why is
do you
there a
want to be
line?
lonely
Because it's
forever, or do
underlining
you
the
want your
or.
friends and family around all the time?
In a tiny space, I would just end up killing all of them.
Yeah, wouldn't
Does
you?
it mean you can never see your friends and family if you live in the big house, or just you have a
That
big
is,
house
I
and then
think, the
have to
point
go
of the
travel
question.
to
That
see
is
them?
why it is difficult to choose one or the other,
No,
but
I'm
you're
asking
getting
for
so much
clarity.
into it every fucking time.
Would I rather live in I mean,
You're living in a big house alone, never seeing your friends and family.
Or in a tiny house with them there all the time?
Yeah.
Not all the time.
No, but like around.
Like you have
to
access to your
masturbate.
friends and family.
Well,
You have to
currently
live
live-
with them.
Currently live in a
this
small
tiny
place,
house.
and I sometimes see my friends. So it's just like
Okay, I guess the second one, because, a huge house is nothing without friends and family.
There you go.
Oh, I don't buy that. Adam.
100%. Okay, thank you for this, by the way. Would you rather have sex in front of your parents or watch your parents have sex together?
how close are they to the event?
Are we asking
Like,
more
are they like at
questions?
the
Like,
end
are
of like
they
a
on
football
TV?
field? Is it? You know? What
Are you
I mean?
watching like a videotape?
Or is it like me? I'm like Adam's father.
I'm just gonna cut this game out altogether from now on because you
The
guys-
best game.
I have a feeling that both of these have happened to Adam already.
Yeah.
Essentially. Clocks are ticking, Adam. Come on.
Sorry, Mom and Dad, but I'd rather have sex in front of you than watch you have sex.
But it's
know
got to
your
be like
parents
your
are watching?
raunchiest sex. None of this like just get it done. Like really get in there.
Acrobatic stuff.
Tito's giving me a look. What did you choose?
Would you rather no longer feel any sexual pleasure or never be able to eat your favorite food again?
Oh my
Obviously, I would avoid my favorite food.
Yeah.
Tito, what do you think?
But like, I'd have to give up sushi.
Would you give up sushi or give up dick?
I guess sushi. I can eat other favorite foods.
But not having any sexual desire, that you can get a lot. You can get a lot of stuff done.
I mean, if it was just
Yeah, but to what
You'd be
end?
a lot more
But
productive.
what if you could? But what if you could eat sushi, but you'd have to watch your parents have sex while you're eating it?
I like sushi.
I would do that.
Yeah. Okay. There.
All right.
That's
Would you
the only way
rather
he eats.
Would that
only
worsen
be
the
able to
experience?
have sex in cars or only be able to have sex in the shower? Shower. That is easy.
I don't know.
Shower
I'd
is
just
fun.
get a big car.
Yeah. I don't own a car.
Yeah. I mean, are you?
Is it a
limiting-
luxury
let's-
car? Is it a limo? Or is it like a stand shower or like a tub? Like,
A
come
sand
on.
shower.
Do you get to bring lube into the shower with you? Because
Lube does not
Use
work in the
soap.
shower.
Silicone-based
also
lube does.
nothing.
Yeah,
Water
that's
just
true.
washes everything away and
You know.
somehow makes
Shower-
things dry. I
Shower.
don't know how that works.
I've had good times in the shower.
Silicone-based lube.
Yeah.
Silicone
I know, I love
probably.
showers.
Yeah, shower sex is awesome. And the cleanup?
And cars are so
Takes care of
uncomfortable.
itself.
Done, right?
pruning.
You start as soon as you get in. You don't wait until you're clean to do it. You do that
You
first.
pre-shower.
Did you
Yeah,
just
no,
choose
you're not
3
getting in to get
questions?
clean and then fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather only have sex in pitch black darkness, or always have sex in public places?
I feel like mine
Come
was
on, I have a
only
feeling I know
one
which
not
one you're
about
gonna go
sex.
Now,
I know. He wants to see it all.
it depends.
No, it depends. Just answer the
if
question.
you mean like public places like at the mall, no. But if it's just like,
On
a
the balcony?
beach and there's, not a lot of people around.
Fred, Canadian winters.
How about the bathroom at the mall?
You would never have sex in the winter, girl.
I would take the darkness because then everybody's hot.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's something like super
That's
sexy
true.
about seeing
Everybody's
your
a 10.
partner.
Like, I don't know what this is, but
I don't know. It's a visual experience.
But you could see them until you're just about to do it, and then like lights go off.
Yeah, no, that's not enough.
No?
That's
I
not
mean,
enough.
you
I
still
like
get
to see
them
the whole
before
thing
you have sex.
happening.
I like an audience.
There
Thank
you go.
you, Tito, for today's midpoint.
Trash.
No mercy, baby.
And now we have very special guests with us, the creators of the new web series called It's Complicated. We have Tony Babcock and Matkai Burmaster. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So this is okay. Well, you tell it. What is the series?
So It's Complicated is an LGBTQ teen web series that revolves around two central characters, kind of the ins and outs of high school, being gay in high school, and it's unique in the sense that we've told it in a very unique way through music and instant messaging, as opposed to a lot of dialogue. So that's the language of teens these days. So
Well,
that's
you were actually telling me that there was a study done about how teens communicate now?
Yeah, you were looking into that, right?
Yeah, there was something came out recently that was about how majority of teens prefer texting and social media as opposed to face-to-face contact.
Cup emoji.
You know, I don't.
Totally.
I'm not sure
Totally.
that that's a whole lot different. Like, I totally would have preferred that because it sucks to deal with people in person.
All the time.
But when you're a teenager, especially, you don't know what's going on. You don't know how to deal with people. But you kind of had to back in the day. You didn't really have a choice. But now, fuck it.
Yeah. And now you have 2 episodes out so far.
Yeah.
And the show's amazing. You have to. We'll get to how we find it online. But tell us about, because you produced, you created this, you write it, and you play the lead characters, but they're very different. These 2
You play
characters.
high schoolers?
Yeah,
We do play high schoolers.
Once the facial hair comes off and just tons of makeup.
I was gonna say I would have killed to be able to grow the kind of facial hair.
Well, you know,
in high
it's
school.
it's the kind of thing like Glee,
Right.
right? They're all in their 20s. It's the same kind of idea. We casted people that are the same age, so then we're all playing teens, so it all kind of lives within the world.
Wait a minute, Leah Michelle wasn't really a teenager?
I'm sorry to crush your
Thank God. I had some impure thoughts.
Okay, stop. No, we're not going there. Okay, so talk about your characters and what makes them so different.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah.
So I play a character named Zach, who's more or less a jock or wannabe jock in school. He's in the basketball team. He's very closed off in the sense that he's wrestling with his own gayness and queerness, and not really has a yeah, and doesn't really have a language for it or any kind of ideas about it. And we really tried to look at these 2 characters as one is more internally dealing with internal homophobia, whereas the other one's more external homophobia. So, you know, your character, I'm sure to talk about, is more, he has religious influences that are kind of oppressing to him, whereas my character is has a family that could be very open and people who are kind of accepting, but he doesn't accept it or know what it is. So.
Why do you think that he has internalized that? Like, what? Doesn't that ultimately come from external forces in society that say that there's something wrong with that?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think
It may
I
not
think
be
so.
overtly like the external forces that he's currently dealing with on a day-to-day.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think it's a little bit of both, right? Column A, column B. Also, like, you know, he's playing like basketball with the jocks, and like, you know, he'd rather be touching some other balls, if you know what I mean.
And your character.
Yeah, so I play Kale. Kale's kind of a different situation. He kind of, as opposed to Zach, who kind of just wants to just like guys, Kale wants to really be there in the gay community and kind of be part of things. But he also comes from a religious background, so he's kind of torn with this, like, how can I keep my religion but also keep my sexuality? So early on, you sorry? Oh my God. Early on in the series, we realize that my character gets brutally beaten up because he's gay. And that's sort of a catapult that brings my character to want to sort of become almost an activist and bring change later in the series. So I think that, one character kind of wants to be open and an activist and part of the community, and the other character kind of wants to just like guys and not be part of that. So it's like, you don't have to.
Non-scene.
Yeah, like,
Totally not seen.
and it's, both are valid.
M for M.
M for M, mask, bro.
Mask for mask.
Like this kind of thing where it's not, it doesn't define him. It's he's just into dudes versus the other guy who's
right.
like wants to make it part of his identity.
And like for example, so there's an episode coming up soon that looks around pressure, like the idea of like social pressure, like toxic masculinity is a big theme. Obviously, like religious pressures, and like this idea that when you're a teen, like just like it's nonstop pressure.
And you don't know what to do. You don't know how to deal with it. That's the thing. It's not like there's almost, I would say, probably as much pressure as an adult. You've just developed the faculties more so to be able to actually deal with the things that that are coming at you. It's a kid. You're like, what the hell is going on with my body? Wait, what do you mean I look terrible? Like, what? I'm gay? Like, all of this stuff is just coming at you. You don't know how to deal with it.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes people say, "What's the name of your show?" And I say, "It's complicated." And they're like, "No, tell me." And I'm like, "That's the name."
Yeah.
Do people confuse you with the Meryl Streep movie?
All the time. I mean, the resemblance is. And the work
Your
ethic.
greatest
And
work
talent
ethic.
is just straight up.
Well, your skin far surpasses Meryl's.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oil of Olay.
Cut her some slack.
I mean, you're the first to suggest it to me, so I think that the two are very different. I mean, the one's romantic comedy, is it? I don't know. I haven't seen it. But
I haven't seen it either.
You're missing out. It is phenomenal. It's probably as good as your show.
Yeah.
Probably.
So what's the where did the idea from this come from? I mean, why was this an important story to tell?
Well, it's a funny story actually, because I was thinking about this project and creating something like this for a while, and Tony was as well, and we just happened to one day tell each other what we were kind of working on, and we're like, wait a second, we're working on the same thing. And so then we're like, obviously we have to make this together.
Yeah.
It was just like a natural fit, and I think we both pulled things from our own lives. Like the characters were kind of influenced by elements of us.
And also, we both work pretty extensively in like schools, and we do workshops. And like I did a tour of like a homophobia workshop around rural Ontario.
Like anti-homophobia?
No, just telling people to bully. And, no, yes,
an instructional.
It was around.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And so like I did this tour around Ontario, and it was like eye-opening that in 2017 that we, at the time when I was touring, that you go to the middle of nowhere, and it was like you were stepping back 30 years. Like,
So why is it important to tell this story?
Well, I think it's very important because we think that maybe this has been solved, or that we are, like that it's fine to be gay in high school now. But what I found in my experience was, even though these schools had GSAs, like gay straight alliances, there would be 3 people in attendance at any given
And 2
day.
of them are straight.
Yeah, and then we would do the workshop.
Who want gay best friends?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, girls, and then someone from like Ecuador. But honestly, we would literally do the workshops, and then yes, Ecuador is amazing. I love it. We'd go to the GSA meeting, and we'd see like grade 9 boys like kind of hanging out by the door, like across the hallway, just kind of like checking it out, but they couldn't come in the door. So
Waiting to beat someone up, or because they want to be?
No,
cruising,
because they were
waiting for
interested.
something to
They wanted
happen.
to see. We told them about it, and they were like looking and whatever, right? And not just boys, but like girls as well. But so it was an interesting kind of thing to see, and inspired a lot of the series.
And as a side note, because our show is about bringing gay and straight men together to see what happens.
What?
Your director.
Oh, this isn't The View?
No. So what? Who cares?
Is Ellen gonna give us a car? Or?
Yeah. You get a car. You get a car. No, but your director is straight.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how did that?
Well, it's interesting because when we first started this project, we said, well, let's get some LGBT people on our crew. Let's get some, and we had a fabulous DOP, which is part of the LGBT community, and a female DOP, which we were really happy with. Cinematographer, director of photography.
People don't know.
CP3.
And we had opened it up to find a potentially LGBT director. And then when Brad came across our laps, we were like,
Brad Dworkin, the
Brad
director.
Dworkin, yes. I hope I say his name correctly.
Yeah.
Um,
You did.
And yeah, it seemed like a natural fit because he is straight, but he's a huge activist and a huge supporter of what we're doing.
He's an ally for sure.
Yeah,
like,
he's a huge
to the
ally.
point where like we had people on set and he was like, "What are your pronouns?" Like that was like the first thing he would say.
so considerate.
And
It was so sweet.
And I was like, you know, obviously I was like, well, he, him, whatever it was, right? Yeah. It's just Tony. Yeah.
With an eye and a heart.
Yes, exactly. The heart's important. It's patented. But anyway, so he would come on and he was just so, I guess the term cringeworthingly is woke. He was very woke in his ability to talk to people.
That's amazing.
And
That's
I think
amazing.
it's
Well,
cringeworthy
woke.
because it's woke, like hashtag woke.
We hate that.
Yeah, you know.
And the beauty of it, I think, too, is that when we were making this, one of the things that I realized through the shoot process is that Brad understood everything about this. He was able to pull elements from his own life and his own experiences from being a straight man that also worked with this. You know, everyone's experienced pressure. Everyone's experienced, you know, elements of bullying and, you know, feeling like you can't tell your parents something
Awkward
and having
teenage.
a secret, you know?
Yeah.
And no, it's not the same, but the beauty of it is that he still got it. And I think that's the beauty of like bringing people who aren't the same together is that we can share those stories.
now
What's
people-
also great too, though, is that he's also a phenomenal storyteller and filmmaker at the
That's
heart
true.
of all of it.
That's true.
So
People are
that
gonna.
really
People
helps.
are watching this interview right now, and they're gonna want to know because you play kind of a couple in the series. Are you two a couple?
Should
We
we
are
tell
not.
them? We're not. No, we're not. We're not.
But
Some people are disappointed, I'm sure.
But I'll
Some
tell
people
you-
are very happy.
Yes, yes. I'll tell you that throughout this process, we certainly felt like one in the sense that we would bicker, we would like, you know, we'd be finishing each other's sentences, we'd be like so mad at each other sometimes. And that's good because we were working on set like 19 hours a day and we're both like trying to wear creator hats and producer hats and lead actor hats. And, you know, after a while, you kind of get a little bit like an old married
Right.
couple.
That's Doug.
Me and Fred.
Right.
Yeah, I was just
Doug
gonna
tries to, you know, get with me all the time, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it hasn't happened yet.
In the description.
Right. So if people want to find the show, they want to watch the episodes that are out already, look forward to the upcoming episodes, where do they find the show?
YouTube.com/MattKai. That's MATKAI.
Cool. And you also have a website?
Yes, we do. MattKai.com/It's Complicated.
How come Tony's not on
Weirdly
the website?
simple.
I know.
Why
it's
is it
really,
just Matt Kai?
It's just, he's just,
Yeah,
all
no,
about him.
I've created some projects in the past, so some people have started sort of following the films and stuff that I've been creating. So Tony was like, you know what, it makes sense that, you know, people are already watching this content.
if you are interested in me and not just Matt Kai, you can check out my Insta, which is Tony Babcock Official. And the reason it's official is because there was another one out there, and I Kai bashed it.
Right?
Kai bash? That's a new one.
Kibosh.
Matt Kai bashed it. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I'm on Instagram as well.
And what's your Instagram?
You just need. He
At
needs to,
Matkai Burmaster.
yeah.
Okay.
One upper.
Yeah. /1 last word.
But the show it's complicated. Thank you for joining us today,
Thank you.
Matkai Burmaster and Tony Babcock. It's complicated. Tito, Bop of the Week.
Bop of the week this week is Ashley and Evan, like Ashley Simpson and Evan Ross. They are making music together.
Is she bash?
Yes, they have a reality show. It's called Paris. I like it.
What?
Like Paris Hilton?
No, the song is called Paris.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought
The show is just called Ashley and Evan.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up. I feel much better now. Well, speaking of things YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel, thepointguys.com. YouTube.com/thepointguys. Subscribe, hit the red button. Hopefully red arrows are pointing you to that button right now.
Also, go to mattkai.com/thepointguys.
We'll talk about registering it.
I don't know what's going on. But this is
I'm
all.
just gonna put like a GIF of shirtless guys on that page. That's it.
But also,
People are gonna click that now. I'm actually gonna do it.
if you want to help us more, you can go to our crowdfunding site, patreon.com/thepointguys. We're also available as an audio podcast at iTunes. Check us out there. You can email us your thoughts at thepointguys@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at thepointguys. Of course, our website is thepointguys.net. Thank you. Thank you. We have a new show every Tuesday, so we will see you next Tuesday on The Point.